Chief Legal Correspondent David Saltman is here tonight to talk about laws and statutes. David?
There are two segments to the laws that make up our everyday life. The first and the most important is the federal Constitution and the federal segment. The Constitution is the one that guarantees us certain things like freedom from intrusion by the government, requires Miranda warnings, allows a free press. Under the federal segment of the laws, the next most important section of that segment is the federal statutes. The federal statutes generally govern interstate commerce, international commerce, and generally things between states and between individuals in different states. The next section under that segment is, of course, the federal courts. The federal courts generally have jurisdiction over the federal Constitution and any interaction between individuals between states, and of course any action between the states themselves. The courts interpret the federal Constitution and generally interpret the federal statutes. The next section, the most important and pertinent to most people, is of course the state segment of the laws. In the state segment, of course, the most important thing is the state constitution. The state constitution is generally a repeating or reiteration of the federal constitution and guarantees each and every individual certain rights and makes certain guarantees to them regardless of any state statutes that might be passed by the legislature. Just underneath the state constitution is, of course, the state statutes. Those are laws or requirements that are passed by the legislature here in New Jersey that make you do things or make you not do things, such as speed or not speed, set speed limits, set certain requirements concerning contracts, and do other things that we meet in our everyday life. The third section of that segment of our laws is, of course, the courts. The courts here in New Jersey interpret, once again, the state statutes and, once again, the state constitution. The courts can and do, on occasion, make some of the laws by their interpretation. For the Local Connection, this is David Saltman.
Why do or don't people volunteer? In a moment, meet the chief of East Windsor Fire Company 2, Bill Askinstead, with that answer. Stay with us. Chief Legal Correspondent David Saltman is here tonight. The topic, Small Claims Court. David?
Small Claims Court is a court that's specifically set up by the Supreme Court of New Jersey in order to allow people to sue other people or corporations for under $2,000. It's specifically set up so that you will not need an attorney when you go to court. In order to find your local small claims court, all you have to do is go to your local courthouse. In Mercer County, it's of course at the corner of Broad Market in Trenton. In New Brunswick, it's of course in the middle of New Brunswick at their courthouse. In order to file a complaint, all you have to do is once again go to the courthouse, talk to the people behind the counter, and they'll give you a form which you'll need to fill out. Decide what your claim is for and what it's based on. If you have problems filling out the form itself, the people behind the counter generally are very friendly and will help you fill out the form. The cost to you is anywhere from $5 to $15. It's a minimal cost in comparison to filing another complaint in another court or to hiring an attorney. You'll generally get a court date or trial date within 30 days. If you choose to bring with yourself an attorney, that's okay. There's no problems. You'll just be the exception when you go to court. If you decide to sue somebody who lives out of county, you must go to the county in which the defendant lives. In other words, if you sue somebody in Mercer County, you must make sure that they actually live in Mercer County. If the people live in Middlesex County, then you must sue them in Middlesex County. The only other restrictions is the monetary restriction of $2,000. Otherwise, you get yourself a Superior Court judge, you get yourself a trial date, you can bring an attorney if you want to, and you can get yourself a judgment at the trial. For the Local Connection, this is David Saltman.